We had a conversation earlier today and you were laughing at the floppies, and I nailed it when I said those were 8-inch floppies.
8-inch before they went to 5. I think it was like
5.25.
Was it?
Yeah, 5.25 was next. But those 8-inch floppies, because I remember looking at them thinking, those aren't 5.25-inch floppies. Those are big boys.
I remember 5.25s and the 3-inch. Yeah, they were big boys. It was like wobbly.
Wargames, a film where a teenager with too much time, too much curiosity, and not enough supervision nearly triggers global thermonuclear war. Just another day in the 80s, huh? In this 1983 masterpiece of technological paranoia, Matthew Broderick plays David Lightman, a brilliant but unmotivated high school hacker who spends his time changing grades and stealing video games. While searching for new games to pilfer, he accidentally hacks into WOPR, the War Operation Plan Response, a military supercomputer designed to predict nuclear war outcomes. Thinking he's found a cool new game company, David chooses to play Global Thermonuclear War, because why start with chess when you can jump straight to ending civilization? What follows is a perfect storm of misunderstandings as NORAD officials believe they are witnessing an actual Soviet first strike, while our teenage protagonist is blissfully unaware he's nearly triggered World War III. The computer, unable to distinguish between simulation and reality, keeps pushing forward towards a nuclear launch, while David, his love interest Jennifer, and the reclusive programmer who created WOPR, Dr. Falcon, race to teach an artificial intelligence that some games simply aren't worth playing. Youth, arrogance, and military madness in the performances. And I've got to give it to Broderick. He was a very young man at the time, but it stands the test of time, capturing that perfect blend of teenage cockiness and genuine innocence. He's not malicious, he's just a kid who doesn't understand the gravity of what he stumbled into until it's nearly too late. His chemistry with Ali Sheedy feels refreshingly natural and unforced. None of that overblown Hollywood romance nonsense where they're suddenly willing to die for each other after sharing one meaningful glance across a classroom. Dabney Coleman as McKittrick is brilliantly cast as the civilian bureaucrat who puts blind faith in the technology. His portrayal of smug certainty is so convincing you'll want to reach through the screen and shake him by his polyester lapels. Meanwhile, Barry Corbin's General Beringer, the technology-skeptical military man, leans into the hamminess in a way that somehow works. Yes, he's chewing the scenery with lines like, "I'd piss on a spark plug if I thought it'd do any good." But in a film about computers potentially ending humanity, perhaps a bit of human excess is exactly what we needed. The technology, while hilariously dated and I've got to admit, brings back all sorts of memories for me, was terrifyingly relevant. Let's address the elephant in the room. The technology in Wargames looks like it belongs in a museum, and it does. Acoustic modems? Yeah, I remember them. Green monochrome monitors? Yeah, I remember them. Feeding physical tape into computers the size of refrigerators? I even remember punched cards. But anyway, it's enough to make any modern tech enthusiast snort their energy drink out of their nose. Yet for all its technological antiquity, the film was remarkably prescient about hacking techniques. War dialing, that's systematically calling numbers to find computers. Password research, social engineering. These weren't Hollywood fantasies, but actual methods that hackers used. And it was another 10 years before we got movies like Hackers and Sneakers. So, no ridiculous I'll create a GUI interface using Visual Basic to track the killer's IP address nonsense here. David's hacking takes actual time, effort, loads of printouts, and rifling through bins. What an actual concept. As relevant as yesterday's nuclear alert, It really is. What makes Wargames truly exceptional is how it delivers its message without bludgeoning you over the head with it. At its core, this is a film about the futility of nuclear war, the ultimate zero-sum game. When Joshua, that's the computer, finally cycles through every possible nuclear war scenario and concludes that the only winning move is not to play, it's not just clever writing, it's a profound statement on the insanity of mutually assured destruction. And in our current geopolitical climate, where nuclear sabres are rattled with alarming frequency, this message carries even more weight than it did in 1983. We've upgraded the computers, refined the interfaces, and built smarter systems. But we are still the same human beings, hampered by the same human flaws. Pride, mistrust, and the dangerous belief that we can control forces beyond our understanding. What director John Badham accomplished was remarkable, crafting a film that works equally well as a tense techno-thriller and a thoughtful examination of humanity's relationship with technology and warfare. You can enjoy it as a straightforward teenager saves the world family-friendly adventure, or you can ponder its deeper implications about game theory and nuclear brinkmanship. The pacing oscillates masterfully between light-hearted teenage adventure, sneaking out, road trips, falling in love, and the grim reality of military personnel preparing for nuclear holocaust. In lesser hands, this tonal juggling act could have been disastrous, but Badham navigates it with remarkable skill. So 4 decades later, Wargames stands as both an entertaining time capsule and a sobering warning. The computers may be laughably outdated, but the questions it raises about human judgment, technological dependency, and the madness of nuclear deterrence remain painfully relevant. So if you haven't watched it recently, do yourself a favour and revisit this gem. In a world where AI is advancing at breakneck speed and international tensions simmer constantly, perhaps we all need a reminder that sometimes the only winning move is not to play. So, if the world does end in nuclear fire, at least we won't have to worry about our credit scores anymore, eh? Silver linings and all that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's been
A grumpy Scot with a pint in hand, ripping through films like a one-man band. Snarky cinema where the burns are hot, honest reviews you'll never forgot. Oh hey, oh hey, let the truth be told. No sugar here, it's biting and bold. With smirk and a scowl and a hearty laugh, the grumpy Scot is here to riff your craft. Sequels gone wrong, he'll tear them apart all video long. But if it's a gem, he'll tip his hat. Rare moments when praise comes from this cat. From cringe remakes to sequels gone wrong, he'll tear them apart all video long. But if it's a gem, he'll tip his hat. Rare moments when praise comes from this cat. Snark so sharp it'll cut through steel. Honesty that you can taste and feel. No fluff, no fuss, it's the Scottish creed. For brutal truth, the world does plead. Oh hey, oh hey, let the truth be told. No sugar here, it's biting and bold. With smirk and a scowl and a hearty laugh, the grumpy Scot is here to riff your craft. So grab your popcorn and duck for cover. It's cinema chats with a twist to discover. Snarky Scot with reviews that sting, a brutally honest movie rating king.